very kind. Thank you very much. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a warm welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where popular answers mean nothing and obscure answers mean everything. Let's meet today's players. First, we welcome Jeremy and Joe. You're our first pair on the show. How do you two know each other?
We met in 1998 when we worked in the same office together, but we actually met for the first time in a pub after work, and we've been going to the pub together ever since.
Joe, what do you do in your spare time?
My spare time? I like to drink beer, obviously. I do cryptic crosswords.
Who do you think's got the better general knowledge of the pair of you?
I think I have, I'm afraid. We play together in a quiz league. The Quiz League of London.
Good, aren't you? You're the Quiz League of London.
Our team's called Fit for Purpose with a question mark at the end of it.
Oh, that's a touch of modesty at the end.
Touch of modesty.
Touch of modesty with a question mark. There was me Fit for Purpose, and they all thought, or does that sound like we're a bit... But do you win everything you do?
No. Our side, we're fourth in the 3rd division. And there are only 3 divisions, so it's not that impressive when you really think about it.
But it is our first year of playing as a team in that division, so...
You're going to work your way up, aren't you?
We are,
Oh,
yes.
You're terrifyingly good.
Yeah. Everyone else, shall we call this off and go down the pub?
We can as well, yeah.
Yeah, of course you can. Just don't play quizzes. Very good, very best of luck to you. Jill and Jed, welcome to the show. Great to have you here. How do you two know each other?
We met 14 years ago through our husbands who worked together, but since then we've forged quite a strong friendship ourselves.
Very good. Where are you from?
We're from sunny Scunthorpe.
Is it ever sunny in Scunthorpe?
It's always sunny.
Oh, of course it is. Whose idea was it to come on the show?
It was mine.
Mine. Jed, did you take a lot of persuading?
Not really, no.
Not really. What's Jed short for?
It's short for Geraldine.
Ah. Brilliant. Well, it's fabulous having you on the show. Welcome. Hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Next, we welcome Shell and Terry. How do you two know each other?
We met at school at the age of 11, and we've been together ever since.
Sorry, I always hate it when people say, when we all do that thing. It sounds a bit deeply patronising, but in this case, What age did you start going out with each other?
15.
Sorry to repeat myself, but Do you think you'll survive Pointless together? That's the thing.
Of course.
Yeah. Shell was about to say... Yeah. Well, it's brilliant having the pair of you here. Thanks very much for coming along. We will expect great things from both of you. Good luck. And finally, we welcome back Emily and Amy. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 shots at the Pointless final. This is your second and final shot at that. What would you like, Emily, to come up this afternoon? What would be your dream-focused category?
Probably films, specific geography, not so much the general.
Sheffield, basically. Sheffield and its environs. No, it's fine, it's fine.
Just whatever I know.
Yeah. Amy, what about you? Nice, specific category for you to triumph in.
Specific children's TV programmes would be nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Of the current era, or
Of any, old and new.
Really? Do you have children?
No, I am a child.
You just... Who's your favourite character from children's telly?
Bagpuss.
Really?
Bagpuss.
Oh, sorry.
Good answer.
I'm not lying.
That's good. Why would she lie about that?
Oh, she does have Basil Brush's autobiography, so...
That is true.
What's it called, Basil Brush's autobiography?
My story. Original title.
Basil Brush, story of my life. Well, we'll find out more about all of you throughout the show. There's only one person left for me to introduce. He stands beneath the tree of obscurity, waiting patiently for the low-hanging fruit facts to fall. Then he makes them into some kind of pointless jam. Here's my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Should have a great show today. We've only got one returning pair, that's Emily and Amy. And of course, last time we had a round on poetry. And it's one of those rounds that we have sometimes, of which we must never speak again. It went very, very badly. I mean, really badly.
That's a round that basically, as soon as it was finished, there was a sort of tarpaulin draped over it. People were diverted around it, weren't they?
It is currently been buried and encased in concrete, 60 metres below the BBC.
Yeah.
But good luck today. But I think it should be a very, very good show. We've got some good questions and I think 4 very good teams.
Excellent. I can't wait for it to start. So let's start it. Now, we put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we are after the obscure answers that they didn't get. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Now, nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £4,750. Right, let's play Pointless. Now, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, so be very careful that's not you. If anyone gives me an incorrect answer, they will score the maximum of 100 points. OK, our first category this afternoon is countries. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many countries larger than France as they could. Richard, countries larger than France?
Yeah, we're looking for any country of the world that is larger than France in terms of land area. As always, by country, we mean a member of the UN that's a sovereign state in its own right as of the start of 2011. And when we say France, we're not including any of its overseas dependencies, just the country of France.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now then, Jeremy and Joe, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. Jeremy. Oh, this is just like a big plate of jam for you, isn't it?
I'm thinking...
Just throw yourself in and eat.
I've got that globe spinning in my head. I'm going to go South America, Brazil.
You're going to go for Brazil?
Yes. OK,
you're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see if Brazil is right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Well done, Jeremy. 43. A good solid start there, Jeremy. 43 for Brazil.
Yeah, 5th largest country in the world, Brazil, in terms of land area. It's 15 times bigger than France.
15 Frances in Brazil.
Yeah. Imagine the strikes. Lovely food, though.
Oh, yes. The strike.
Oh. Imagine if there was a chef strike.
Oh, no. I thought that was going to be a good point. It's even worse. Jed.
I'm going to stick with the South American theme and go with Peru.
You're going to go with Peru. France, Peru. Oh, it's very hard because you don't know them in context, do you? You're hoping to score as few points as possible with Peru. You're hoping Peru is correct. Peru. Well done, Jed. Great answer. Down it goes. Still down it goes to 1. Peru.
Yes, more than twice the size of France, Peru. You wouldn't think it, would you? I was going to say Jed would, but then I thought I can't.
Don't say that.
That's not quite right. That's not your surname, is it? That would be awful.
Oh, God. Imagine. Just imagine. Now then, Terry, we come to you. What do you do, Terry?
I'm a maintenance technician for a motor company.
For a motor company. What is the most obscure country larger than France you can think of?
Well, geography isn't my forte at all. I need a satellite navigation to get to bed. So I'll say Germany.
You're hoping to score as few points as possible with Germany. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Germany. Oh, bad luck, Terry. Vorsprung durch Technik, Terry. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. That scores the maximum of 100 points. Germany, Richard.
Yeah, smaller than France, I'm afraid, Terry. About 200,000 square kilometres smaller.
Emily, we come to you. Remember, we are looking for countries larger than France.
I was quite confident until I found out Germany wasn't bigger, and now I'm not as confident as I was. So I think I'm going to have to play it safe in my mind, it could be wrong, and say Sudan.
OK, we'll take Sudan. We'll see if it's correct. And if it is, let's see how many people said Sudan. Good luck, Emily. It's right. Great answer. Down it comes. Look at that. Wonderful answer. Lovely low score there, Emily, for Sudan.
Very well played, Emily. As of the start of 2011, it's the largest country in Africa, Sudan.
OK, well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. On 1 point, Jed and Jill. Amazing. Lovely, lovely low score there, Jed. Emily on 6. Wonderful. Up to Jeremy and Joe on 43. I know what they're doing there. They're hustling.
Yeah, of course they are.
Hustling.
Of course they are.
43. Yeah. Yeah. And Terry, bad luck, an incorrect answer there with Jeremy. Stands to reason, you'd have thought, but no, seemingly not. So, yes, Shell, you have a job on your hands in the next pass. Try and find a nice pointless answer and hope someone else scores high. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? Remember, we are looking for countries larger than France in terms of area. Now then, Emily, didn't she do well?
Very well.
A fabulous score there. The high scorers are Shell and Terry on 100. If you can score 93 or less, you're through to the next round.
I don't know whether to gamble or play it safe a bit. I think I'm going to go for Kazakhstan.
Is that one of those guesses, or is it actually because you know Kazakhstan on a map?
It looks quite big on a map.
It sounds like a great answer. And look, there's your red line there, fantastically high. If Kazakhstan can get you below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's see if it does. Let's see if it's right and how many people said Kazakhstan. Well done, you're through. Brilliant. I think this might be another lovely low score. Very well done, Amy. Scores you 4, takes you just into double figures. Lovely score of 10.
Yeah, very good answer, Amy. Very good answers as a team as well. Kazakhstan's 5 times bigger than France, Kazakhstan.
Splendid. Now then, Shell, you know what you have to do. We are looking for countries larger than France.
I'll try.
Lovely low-scoring, obscure country larger than France.
I'll go with Zimbabwe.
There's no red line for you, I'm afraid, because you are the high scorers. By a margin. You have to hope that this is a lovely low score, and you have to hope that Jill and or Joe make a mistake, basically. Let's see if Zimbabwe is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Zimbabwe. Oh, bad luck, Shell. I'm afraid that is an incorrect answer, which means you scored a maximum of 100 points, and it takes your score to an unbeatable 200. Richard.
Yeah, really sorry, Shell. Not bad answers, Germany and Zimbabwe, but both of them smaller than France. Sorry.
Very surprising. Zimbabwe, that's small somehow. You always think of African countries on a much larger scale, don't you? Bad luck, Shell. Yeah. Bad luck. Wrong for all the right reasons, but wrong. Now, Jill, you are through to the next round. Whatever happens, you'll never overtake Shell and Terry's high score of 200. Remember, we are looking for countries larger than France.
OK, well, given the situation, I'll go for something or try and get a pointless answer, so I'm going to try Mali.
You're going to say Mali?
Yeah.
Let's see if Mali is a correct answer, and if it is, let's see how many people have said it. Mali. There we are, it's right. Let's see if this can go all the way down to 0. It'd be fantastic if it does, and it adds 250 quid to the jackpot. Yes, it does! Look at that! Superb, Jill. Thoroughly deserved the fanfare you had. That's a pointless answer. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking us up to a lovely round £5,000, and it scores you nothing, leaving you with a total of 1.
Yeah, very well played, Jill. What an introduction to the show. 1 point between the two of you.
So then, Joe, we've had a pointless answer. What are you going to do about it?
I'm afraid I might have to pretend to play safe, because I can't think of any that might be pointless. So I'm afraid
You don't have to. Well, you listen, you don't
I
have to do
know.
anything. You can make the most fantastic mistake, if you like, and still be comfortably through to the next round. So knowing that you have that safety net, why not go out on a bit of a Joe limb
Right.
and find a pointless answer?
In that case, Hungary.
Hungary.
There you are.
Let's see if Hungary is a correct answer, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Hungary. Well, stab in the dark. Scores you 100 points, gives you a total of 143. You're through to the next round. Richard.
Yeah, unlucky. Hungary smaller than France. Actually, to look for the pointless answers, the main places you want to go are Africa and South America. Let's take a look at some of those pointless answers. So I'm sure people will be thinking of some at home. Angola is larger. Bolivia, Botswana, larger than France. All of those are pointless. Colombia, Kenya, Madagascar, larger than France.
It's huge, Madagascar, yeah.
Let's take a look at some more. Somalia, Tanzania, Venezuela. There's Zambia, Ethiopia, Namibia, Mozambique. All of these are bigger than France, so all of those are very good pointless answers. Let's take a look at the worst answers. These are the ones that most of our 100 gave. The third is China with 78. Second, Russia with 82. And the United States right at the top with 89. I know everyone was amazed that Peru was bigger than France. Peru's actually bigger than France, Germany and the UK put together.
Well done, Peru, if you're watching. Thanks, Richard. So at the end of round one, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid it's Shell and Terry.
Oh, well.
Oh, it was a tough category. Geography, not your strong suit.
No.
It's such a shame to be saying goodbye to you so early on, but we will see you next time. That's the good news. But thanks very much, meanwhile, for playing. You've been lovely to see you. But for the remaining three pairs, it's now time for round two. Now, only two pairs will be making it through to the head-to-head, so one of the three teams in front of me will be leaving us at the end of this round. OK, our category for round two is film. Can you decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. Very good. Our second round question concerns sports films and their sports. Now, in this round, we're about to show you a list of sports films. We asked 100 people to tell us which sport is featured in each of them. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 6 films on each pass. All you've got to do is tell us which sport is associated with it. The more obscure the answer, the fewer points you're going to score. If you give us an incorrect answer, though, you'll score 100 points.
OK, thank you very much, Richard. So we're looking for the sport connected to these films. Here we go. We have got The Sandlot, $1 Million Baby, Balls of Fury, Space Jam, Kingpin, The Mighty Ducks. I'll read those again. The Sandlot, $1 Million Baby, Balls of Fury, Space Jam, Kingpin, The Mighty Ducks. Now, as always on Pointless, you are looking for the answer that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now then, Jeremy, how good are you on films in general and sports film in particular?
Some of those I'm sure of, and some that I'm sort of 50-50, so I'm weighing up whether to go for one that I'm definitely sure of or take a risk. Yeah, I'll play it slightly safe. $1 Million Baby and boxing.
$1 Million Baby and boxing is what you're going to say. Let's see if that's a correct answer. And if it is, let's see how many people knew it. It's right. 50. That's a solid start. 50 for $1 Million Baby.
Yeah, from 2004, and Clint Eastwood won the Best Director Oscar for it. The oldest man ever to win a Best Director Oscar was 74.
2004? Wow, feels like yesterday.
Did you watch it on DVD?
I watched it yesterday. Jill, I have a feeling you have seen a few of these films, and you're going to be rather good.
You're so wrong. I haven't seen any of them. Now, I'm going to have to make a bit of a wild stab here, so I'm going to go Space Jam and say basketball.
Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Good luck, Space Jam, basketball. Very well done, Jill. Down it falls, 39. That's a great answer. Space Jam, Richard?
Yes, Space Jam. It's part animation, part live action, all bad. Michael Jordan stars alongside Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
OK, now then, Emily.
OK. I've never heard of the first one, The Sandlot, and I'm not sure about the Balls of Fury and Kingpin. I mean, I can make a guess, but I have to go play it safe and go Mighty Ducks because it's one of my favourite films, and it's ice hockey.
Very good. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. The Mighty Ducks ice hockey. Well done. 39 is the one to beat. 38. Very well done. You've done it. Well done, Emily. 38 for the Mighty Ducks ice hockey.
Yeah, well played, Emily. It's a wonderful film, Mighty Ducks. Emilio Estevez plays a lawyer who has to sort of coach an ice hockey team. Let's take a look at the rest of the answers. Kingpin is the Farrelly Brothers movie about 10-pin bowling and would have scored a fairly hefty 46. Balls of Fury, do you know what that's about?
Well, I'm hoping it's about tennis, table tennis.
Table tennis, yes, exactly about table tennis with Christopher Walken. Would have scored you 12. And the best answer on the board is The Sandlot, also known as The Sandlot Kids. And it's about baseball. Would have scored you 2 points. Very well done if you got that at home.
Very good indeed. OK, well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores. Very close grouping at the bottom end. 38, Emily and Amy. Jill and Jed, 39, equally good. Now, Jeremy and Joe. I mean, it was safe, but it was expensive, that one. 50 points. The pressure is on you, Joe. How well do you know your sports films?
Before you show me the categories, reasonable.
Splendid.
When you do show them, rubbish.
Well, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? Very good. OK, we're going to put 6 more films up on the board, and here they are. We have got Vision Quest, Looking for Eric, Remember the Titans, Seabiscuit, Invictus, Cool Runnings. I'll read those one more time. Vision Quest, Looking for Eric, Remember the Titans, Seabiscuit, Invictus, Cool Runnings. Now, remember, we are looking for the sport connected with these films, and you're trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Amy, how good are you on sports films?
I quite like bad films, and one of them I know is bad. So I think I'm going to go for Seabiscuit, which is about horse racing.
Horse racing. OK. You are the low scorers. The high scorers are Joe and Jeremy on 50. You want to be scoring 11 or less, if you can, with this answer. Let's see if that is right. Seabiscuit, horse racing. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. There is your red line. Below that red line, you are through to the head-to-head. Very well done. 62. 62, that scores you, takes your total up to a nice round 100. Richard.
Yeah, it's a big score, isn't it? 62, surprisingly big. It's about a Depression-era racehorse, Seabiscuit.
I watched Seabiscuit on an aeroplane, and like all sorts of probably quite bad films I've seen on aeroplanes, I was wiping tears off my chin. Amy doesn't like it. Yeah, no, it got me.
You were quite heavily drunk, though.
Very good, Amy. 100 points. You are the high scorers now. So, Jed and Jill, if you can score 60 or less, you are through to the next round. Jed, you're shaking your head, like as if to say, I'm not going to score very well in this round.
Not my subject at all. I've heard of Cool Runnings, and I think my son's watched it, so I'm going to go for... It's probably totally wrong, but I'm going to go for American football.
You're saying Cool Runnings, American football, you're on 39. You want to score 60 or less. There's your red line. If you go below that red line, you are in the head-to-head. Cool Runnings, American football.
Oh, bad.
I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, and it scores you the maximum of 100 points, taking your total up to 139.
Yeah, unlucky, Jed. Not American football, I'm afraid. I won't say what it is, just in case Joe wants to have a go at that one.
OK, now then, Joe and Jeremy, you are on 50. The high scorers now are Jed and Jill on 139. 88 or less, that's your goal. Joe, 88 or less. What are you thinking?
But I positively know Looking for Eric, Invictus and Cool Runnings.
Tell us what they all are, and you can then pick
Looking for Eric, I think it's football, association football. Invictus is rugby union, and Cool Runnings is bobsleigh, 4-man bobsleigh. And the one I'd like to pick probably is Invictus for rugby union.
Invictus for rugby union. Did you see it?
No.
A surprisingly good film. Didn't even see it in a plane as well. There's your red line. If you come below that red line with Invictus, you are through to the head-to-head. Let's see if Invictus is indeed about rugby union. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Very well done. Very well done. 26. That scores you, taking your total up to 76. Invictus, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Joe. Based around the 1995 Rugby World Cup. Morgan Freeman as Nelson Mandela and Matt Damon as Francois Pienaar, the South African captain.
Very good. What about the others?
Let's take a look at the others. It's actually of the ones you knew, it was the lowest scorer as well, so it was a good one to go for. Cool Runnings is a big scorer. Cool Runnings would have scored you 49 points and is indeed bobsleigh. Looking for Eric is football. Stars Eric Cantona, of course, would have scored you 29. Remember the Titans is the film I saw on a plane, rather enjoyed, with Denzel Washington. We were flying somewhere together, I forget where. He's also in the film. It's American Football, would have scored you 14. And Vision Quest is the best answer on the board. Do you know the answer to that?
I have no idea.
I've never heard of it. It is a wrestling film with Matthew Modine, would have scored you 1 point. Very well done if you got that one.
Splendid. OK, well, thanks, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, Jed and Jill. Dear, oh dear.
Never mind.
Never mind. Never mind. We shall see you again next time. We're looking forward to that a lot. That's going to be great fun. But till then, thank you very much for playing. Great contestants. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are going to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Very well done. Emily and Amy, Jeremy and Joe, you've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands, I believe, at £5,000. Very good. Now, you're going to go head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. For each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, and you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair to win that question, and the first pair to the best of 3 will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many members of Girls Aloud as they could. Members of Girls Aloud, Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 5 founding members of Girls Aloud. Obviously, they were formed on Pop Stars The Rivals, the TV show, so any of the 5 members of Girls Aloud. And we're looking for first name and surname, please.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Emily and Amy, because you played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. We are looking for the 5 members of Girls Aloud. We want the most obscure one, please.
What do you think we should go? Do you know any of their surnames?
I've got a motion.
Okay. Yeah.
OK, we have an answer.
Yeah. We're going to go for Sarah Harding.
Sarah Harding. Jeremy and Joe, you can do all your talking out loud now. You're conferring...
I haven't got a clue.
OK, luckily,
Modern pop
Jeremy...
popular beat combo.
I wonder if Ashley Cole's wife was one of them. So Cheryl Cole, possibly. Unless you got a better one.
No.
So what are you going to say, Jeremy?
We'll say Cheryl Cole.
You're going to say Cheryl Cole?
Yeah.
OK, we have Emily and Amy saying Sarah Harding. We have Jeremy and Joe saying Cheryl Cole. Sarah Harding, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Sarah Harding. Sounded like you had a little moment of doubt there.
Yeah, just in case it was Harding plural with an S on the end. I didn't know.
Hardings.
Panic. I don't know.
Plural panic.
It's fine. It was fine.
Plural panic.
It was all fine. Jeremy and Joe have gone for Cheryl Cole. OK, well, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Cheryl Cole. 40 is what you want to be going lower than. 81. It was right. but it was 2 right.
Too obvious, unfortunately, yeah.
Well, after the first question, Emily and Amy are soaring into the lead 1-0. Richard?
Yeah, those were actually the top 2 answers, the most popular answers. So let's take a look at 3 answers that would have beaten Sarah Harding. Right at the bottom, Nicola Roberts on 29, Kimberly Walsh 30, Nadine Coyle on 39, Sarah Harding 40, and way out in the lead, Cheryl Cole with 81.
OK, here is your second question. Jeremy and Joe, you have to win this question to stay in the game. Emily and Amy, should you win this question, you are through to the final. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many guacamole ingredients as they could. Guacamole ingredients, Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 7 ingredients included in Delia Smith's guacamole and her complete cookery course. We're not accepting salt and pepper, but any of the 7 ingredients in guacamole.
The 7 ingredients in Delia Smith's guacamole. Jeremy and Joe, you get to go first this time.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. We'll discount the 7 obvious ones and say mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, say Jeremy and Joe. Emily and Amy, take us through the recipe for guacamole.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise is off the table.
Right. Delia Smith's version.
We'll be glad it's not Heston Blumenthal's version.
You're the chef.
Right, well, don't say that. Well, obviously, avocados, an obvious answer, which I won't say. I'm sure there's lemon in it. I'm going to say tomato.
Tomato. You're going to say tomato.
All right?
We have mayonnaise from Jeremy and Joe.
Sorry.
We have tomato from Emily. Don't be sorry. What possibly could be wrong with tomato in a guacamole? It sounds delicious.
Oh, no.
I said it sounds delicious. Remember, I know nothing. Jeremy and Joe have gone for mayonnaise. You have to win this question to stay in the game. What are you thinking? Mayonnaise? You suddenly said you had an idea.
No, I had an idea that they probably don't have mayonnaise in Mexico or wherever avocado guacamole comes from, so it's probably something else, but you never know.
Let's just find out, shall we? Mayonnaise, is it in guacamole? And if it is, how many people said it? Mayonnaise. No mayonnaise in guacamole. Emily, Amy, you have said tomato.
Yep. And I'm 99% sure that's wrong.
Well, Jeremy and Joe were wrong, so you're in good company. Let's see if tomato is in guacamole, and if it is, you are through to the final. You'd be playing for that jackpot of £5,000. Tomato, is it in guacamole? And if it is, how many people said it? It's right! That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Oh, wow, it's still going down. Blimey. It's right. It's emphatically right. And after just 2 questions, Emily and Amy are through to the final. Richard.
Yeah, very, very well played. There's an apocryphal story, I suspect, about Peter Mandelson in a northern chip shop looking at the mushy peas and saying, can I have some of that guacamole?
Wooing his Hartlepool voters. Yeah.
Exactly. Let's take a look at all 7 ingredients in Delia's guacamole. There is one pointless answer here. She puts Tabasco sauce in her guacamole, would have been a pointless answer. Then chili powder, 11, tomato and onion, both 12, lemon juice and garlic, 15, and avocado way out in front on 64.
OK, Richard, thank you very much. So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head is Jeremy and Joe. Dear, oh dear. Great at quizzes, rubbish at making guacamole. Well, that's pointless, isn't it? We go from girls aloud to guacamole. The next question might well have been football or exciting exotic beers.
That would have been good. We might have scored something with it.
Well, I tell you what,
Beers.
you will be back next time when I'm absolutely confident that exotic beers and all your other specialist subjects will be coming up. But in the meantime, thank you very much for playing. You've been great. But for Emily and Amy, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £5,000. Well, congratulations, Emily and Amy. You fought off all the competition, and massive competition it was, and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. Very well done. That's the best reaction I've ever had to that. it doesn't stop there. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot. At the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £5,000. Now, the rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. Now, we've had one pointless answer on the show today. You only have to find one more, and you will go home with that money. First, though, you've got to choose a category. And you can choose from these 3 options. Here we are. You have football, opera, and American authors.
I know a tiny bit about football.
We know nothing about opera.
Nothing about opera.
Unless the American author is Danielle Steele, which I read in my youth. I don't think we're...
Are we going to have to go for football? Is this actually...
I can't believe this is real life. Actually, football, aren't we?
We are.
Brilliant.
We are.
We've got a trophy.
We're going to go for football. You've got the trophy.
Yeah.
OK, let's find out what the question is. Yeah. Is there any area of football you'd love it to be? Is there any little area that you know?
England.
A club? Is there a club you follow vaguely?
Unless it's England managers, then no, that's it. That's all I know.
Fingers crossed. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many World Cup final scorers as they could. World Cup final scorers. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any player who scored in a final deciding game in a Football World Cup, up to and including the 2010 tournament. We would accept just surnames or the names by which they are best known. We won't accept anyone who scored in a penalty shootout in a World Cup final. So anyone who has scored in a World Cup final.
Thank you very much, Richard. OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that £5,000 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
OK, so we know the biggest World Cup scorers, Steve Bloom.
But these are all English. How many times have England got in the final?
Is it definitely English scorers?
No, but it can be anyone.
Steve Bloom is not English.
Oh, isn't he?
No. Philippe...
No, that's rugby.
Is that rugby? Steve... Oh, my God, I need to say something. Well, Gary Lineker. Might be quite obvious. I don't know if he's actually scored in there.
Steve... I can't think of anyone.
I say Steve Bloom then.
Speak up.
David Platt is
a
footballer.
David Platt. Yeah, I would say David Platt, I think.
Well, there's like Ronaldo, but that would be obvious.
What is that? I'm sure...
Maradona.
Who? So we've got Gary Lineker. Michael Owen of England again. That's all we know, isn't it? I guess say Steve. Should we say Steve? Should we say
5 seconds.
Should we say Steve Bloom? I think it's...
OK, your time is up. All I need from you now are your 3 answers. We were looking for World Cup final scorers.
Yep.
What are you going to give me?
We'll go with David Platt.
Yeah, David Platt.
David Platt.
We're just going to have to go with the obvious ones, aren't we?
Gary Lineker.
Gary Lineker.
Yeah. Should we go Gary Lineker?
Maradona.
And Maradona.
Yeah.
OK.
Yeah, why
David
not?
Platt, Gary Lineker, and Maradona. I have to say that was it's very patriotic.
Are they all English?
Well, not all of them.
One of them.
Not all of them. Amy's submission isn't. It's nice to mix it up a bit.
Player.
Which of those do you think is your best chance of getting a pointless answer?
None of them.
I'd say either David Platt or that other one we said. What did we say? Maradona.
Should we put Maradona last?
We'll have Gary Lineker first.
You have Gary Lineker first,
Yeah.
David Platt second, and Maradona last.
Because we know Gary Lineker's definitely a football player. So we're going to go for him.
Right, we're going to put those up on the board in that order.
Yeah.
Here they are. Gary Lineker, David Platt, and Maradona. See? Look good on the board, don't they? Yeah. You said this was your least confident answer. You only need to find one pointless answer to win that £5,000 jackpot. Let's see if Gary Lineker is a right answer. And if it is, let's see how many people said Gary Lineker.
Oh.
Bad luck. Bad luck. That's an incorrect answer.
OK.
So unfortunately not a pointless answer. You still have 2 answers.
Yeah?
You still have 2 more chances to win that jackpot of £5,000. What would you do with £5,000?
I think we've been saying all along that we'd get a haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. That's the best answer I've ever been given. OK, we are looking for World Cup final goal scorers. Gary Lineker, you said. Incorrect answer, sadly. Let's hope your next answer, David Platt, is a correct answer. And it goes all the way down to 0. For £5,000, let's see if David Platt is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said David Platt. Oh, bad luck. We are looking for World Cup final goal scorers. You said this was the answer you had the most faith in. Didn't you, Emily?
Yes, we did. Very, very yeah.
You were very confident.
Very confident.
And Maradona, where did Maradona suddenly come from? He just swam into view.
Is he a swimmer?
Let's find out, shall we? This has to be pointless if you're going to win that jackpot. It has to be correct.
Yes.
If it's correct, it has to go all the way down to 0, and then you will win that jackpot of £5,000. OK, let's find out. Maradona. How many people said Maradona? Is it correct? Oh, no! Bad luck. Unfortunately, you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot of £5,000, which rolls over onto the next show. But you have been amazing contestants, and you do, of course, get to take home our pointless trophy. So, Richard.
Yeah, unlucky, Amy and Emily, a tough category. Maradona did play in the final twice, actually, in 86 and 90, but didn't score. And only 2 Englishmen have ever scored, and they are Geoff Hurst and Martin Peters. And along with Ronaldo, they were the top 3 answers on this board. Let's take a look at some of the pointless answers. You're going to kick yourself when you see some of these names. Let me tell you. Yeah. Anu Simonsen of Sweden. There's Carlos Alberto of Brazil. Ferenc Puskás of Hungary. I know a lot of people would have got some of these at home. Hector Castro Yazino, also of Brazil. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge of Germany. Marco Tardelli, the Italian, Mario Kempes, the Argentinian, and Paolo Rossi of Italy. So very well done if you got any of those at home.
OK, thanks, Richard. Did you know any of those names?
No, I've heard of Rossi before. It's our friend's name, so... That's not why I've heard of it.
Oh, I see, right, yes. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, Emily and Amy, but it's been brilliant having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing, both of you. Nobody's won our jackpot today, so it rolls over, which means on the next show we will be playing for £6,000. Join us next time, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.
Steel Avenger and Storm. What's this, a hot new superhero show? No, it's hunks of fighting metal in Robot Wars, The Fifth Wars, tonight at 6 on Challenge.